Ever been walking at night and felt like the moon was following you? Don't worry, you're not being tailed by a mysterious creature. There's a scientific reason, an optical illusion, and a trick of the brain that makes the moon seem to loyally accompany your every step. Let's unpack this unique phenomenon together. Ever been on a motorbike at night and felt like the moon was following you? Relax, you're not being stalked by the sky. It's just a trick of the eyes and distance. But it still makes you wonder, Moon, why are you so stuck to me? The moon is far away, about 384,000 kilometers. Because it's so distant, our change in position on Earth doesn't significantly alter our viewing angle towards it. So whether you're walking, running, or on a ride hail, it seems to stay in place. Imagine looking at a mountain from afar. You move 5 steps, but the mountain doesn't seem to shift. Well, the moon is like a giant mountain in the sky. It's so far and large that your brain processes it as if it's stationary. But wait, there's something more unique. When you move, nearby objects like trees and houses change their relative position faster than distant objects. This is called parallax. Well, the moon is too far away, so it appears to barely shift. Parallax is like when you hold your finger close to your face and move your head. Your finger shifts quickly, but if you look at a distant building, it shifts slowly. The moon? Super slow. That's why it gives the impression of following. What makes it more dramatic is the dark night sky. Like a theater stage, the moon performs solo under the spotlight, so your attention automatically locks onto it. Thus, it feels even more like it's watching your every move. The moon isn't actually moving with you. You are the one moving on the Earth's surface, while the moon is just chilling in its orbit. But your brain combines all of this into one perception. The moon is following me. This phenomenon made many children in the past ask their parents, why does the moon like to tail us? And amusingly, parents gave all sorts of answers. Even though the answer is very scientific, it's just about distance and an optical illusion. The cool thing is, this illusion happens everywhere. Whether you're in a bright city, a quiet village, or a windy beach, the effect remains the same. The moon is like a loyal friend who doesn't want to be far away. Sometimes we see the moon getting bigger and more dramatic. This makes us even more convinced it's following us with a certain mood. But actually, that's just the atmospheric effect near the horizon making it appear large. But don't get it wrong, even though it's just an illusion, this phenomenon makes the relationship between humans and the moon feel more personal. Like there's a small story in every night journey, from romantic ones to the spine-chilling ones. For instance, you're walking home alone through a quiet path. The moon appears above the trees, like providing emergency lighting, even though that light is just a reflection from the sun, which is on the other side of Earth. Sometimes the moon appears at your bedroom window during a quiet night. You shift your position a little, and hey, it's still peeking in. It feels like it's watching you sulk in silence. But, well, that's the illusion again. If you go by car, the moon even seems to lean against the car window the whole way. Distant objects are just like that. Their movement is super slow compared to buildings and billboards on the roadside. Interestingly, this illusion of the moon following us has been noticed by humans for a long time, even before modern science emerged. It was once explained with myths. Now, it's explained with geometry and perception. But unconsciously, we often prefer to believe the myths because they're more exciting. Even though science says it's just parallax, a little voice inside says, but it still feels like the moon is following me though. This phenomenon also occurs with the sun, bright stars, and even high-flying planes. But the moon is the champion because it's large and its light is stable. That's why it most easily makes you feel noticed. And honestly, it feels nice. There's a moment when you're walking home, you see the bright round moon and you feel accompanied, even though it knows nothing about you. Until you finally realize the one moving isn't the moon, but you yourself. That illusion actually reminds you that many things in life are just a matter of perspective. And that's precisely where the next mystery begins. Because it turns out, besides the optical illusion, there's another phenomenon that makes the moon feel even closer. And it's far more mind-blowing. In the previous story, we discussed why the moon seems to follow us, but it turns out there's something else that makes it feel even closer. A psychological effect where the brain exaggerates bright objects in dark spaces. And this makes the illusion even stronger. Our brains have a tendency to assign importance to the most prominent object. At night, the moon is the brightest, so the brain automatically prioritizes its attention, as if it has a special movement just for us. This is called spotlight attention. It's like when you're at a concert, the spotlight hits one singer and you feel they're focusing on you, even though they're just standing on stage. The moon is the same, a natural spotlight effect. The second effect is size constancy. The brain tends to perceive large, distant objects as something emotionally close. So the large, stable moon makes us feel like we have a connection, even if it's just a suggestion. The funny thing is, if you see the moon behind buildings or trees, your brain creates its own story. Hey, it's peaking, even though it's just you moving and your line of sight changing. But that little narrative makes the illusion more vivid. This phenomenon is also strong when you're alone. When you're thinking, feeling melancholic, or walking at night, the brain is more sensitive to small things. The stationary moon can feel like a talking friend who doesn't complain and doesn't leave. But there's something far more unique. The moon's orbit actually causes it to move slowly across the sky. But because its movement is extremely slow, your brain mixes that movement with your own steps, creating the impression that it's following. The moon's natural movement is about 13 degrees per day. It's too small for you to notice. So your rapid movement becomes the reference point, and the moon is perceived as constant in one spot. This illusion occurs without you realizing it. There's also the weather factor. If the sky is clear, the moon looks sharp and contrasted. But if it's cloudy, it appears and disappears. That flickering appearance makes your brain think it's playing hide and seek with you. And the more you pay attention to the moon, the stronger the following illusion feels. The human brain is funny. Excessive focus can make a static object appear to have intent, even though it's just existing chilly. Science calls this mild pareidolia, the brain's tendency to create patterns from simple things. Usually facial shapes, but it can also be patterns of movement that aren't really there. The moon is just a victim of its own fame. This phenomenon becomes even more interesting when you're in a fast-moving vehicle. The landscape changes super fast, but the moon remains calm in its position. This extreme contrast makes the following illusion even more powerful. On long night journeys, many people feel the moon is like a guardian. In reality, it's just a combination of orbital movement, minimal parallax, spotlight attention, plus the emotional state of a melancholic human. This emotional effect often happens with young children. They don't yet understand the concept of vast distances, so their brains fill the void with fantasy. But secretly, adults do the same thing. And if you notice, the moon also looks different in each phase. Sometimes a thin crescent, sometimes a full circle. This change in shape gives the impression the moon is more alive, even though it's just the sun's position relative to it. One mind-blowing fact, the moon always shows the same side to Earth because its rotation is synchronized. So actually, you're the one being shown the same side, not the moon following your movement. This synchronization makes us feel familiar with the moon's face. Every night, its crater patterns are the same. This familiarity strengthens the illusion of closeness, as if it's present in a personal way. Even when you move cities, take a plane, or go on a faraway vacation, this effect remains. The moon still seems to follow. It feels like it's saying, "Relax, I'm still here," even though the reality is just massive distance. You finally realize the moon never truly follows us, but the combination of extreme distance, brain perception, bright light, and slow orbit makes it the best shadow friend. And in the end, perhaps the reason the moon feels like it's following us isn't because it's moving, but because humans need something to accompany their steps through the long night. And if you like stories like this or are interested in similar topics, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. By subscribing, you won't miss out on other exciting content. In the next video, there will be an even more interesting topic. It could be more mysterious, more entertaining, or even more surprising than you imagined. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell to stay updated. Likes and comments also help this channel grow. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.